Wentworth is full of twists and turns, and it constantly strives to surprise its audience.
At any given moment, anyone could just come to a grinding halt. The stakes are always so high.
Top dogs, screws, laggers and backstabbers. Every double crossing, heartbreaking, jaw-dropping moment from the very beginning.
It is worth the binge. It's completely addictive.
Coming back to Wentworth is like slipping on an old glove.
Join us as we celebrate Australia's most epic drama, the critically acclaimed, multi-award-winning global phenomenon.
I feel like I'm jumping onto the shoulders of giants in this show. There's some just bloody extraordinary people on it.
I'm Celia Ireland. You may know me as Liz, and this is Wentworth, Behind the Bars, Seasons 1 to 7. Since its premiere on Foxtel's Soho channel back in 2013, Wentworth has become a global franchise, syndicated around the world and a proud recipient of countless awards, including 7 shiny Logies. I even pinched one of those myself.
It's such a professional privilege to work with Foxtel. When you look back at the drama production, it's of such high quality.
It is special. Like, I know a lot of people say that, but there's something down here that's really special about the crew, the production and the cast, which makes it part of a great team.
I think the thing that Foxtel does, and we know for a fact, is it puts females in the centre and up in the lead. There's a great diversity to their characters and their stories, and Foxtel's commitment to that is second to none.
There is a universality to the stories that we're telling, but also in the capable hands of these great actresses, it resonates across the world.
The US, UK, France, Canada, Macedonia, Israel. Wentworth plays in a whopping 170 territories worldwide. Some countries even remake their own versions.
Wenn du nicht den Arsch in der Hose hast, die Konsequenzen dafür zu tragen.
Wow. War doch gar nicht so schwer.
Alsjeblieft. Was dat nou zo moeilijk?
Please.
Wow. It wasn't so hard, was it?
I think audiences were crying out for interesting representation, and Wentworth provided that. We provided a full cast of females who were not just limited to love interests or the girlfriend or the wife or the sexual object. We actually said, these women are human and here's a story that you'll want to watch. But also the LGBT representation, I think, came at a time where it was needed and it was wanted, and I think the fans have gravitated because of that.
Before we look at the highly anticipated 8th season,
I'm sweet home now.
let's go back to day one.
They think it takes a strong woman to rise to the top in here, but it doesn't. It takes a smart one.
In walks our central character, B. Smith, a victim of domestic violence. She's been sentenced to Wentworth for the attempted murder of her husband. And look out, ladies, his prison will never be the same again.
We try to set up a very bold, very strong characters that are living in this world that is Wentworth. And within that, it is about survival, you know, life and death. And I think that was pretty gutsy to start where we did.
The fact that at the end of the first episode we killed Catherine McClemens, who was playing the governor, which showed to everybody, oh, this is going to be different. Oh, they're not afraid to kill off a main character.
Someone call an ambulance! No.
So B was lucky to make it through episode 1 alive. But she's about to learn just how dangerous her enemies can be.
Your husband found Debbie in her bedroom unconscious.
Someone just tell me if she's okay. Please, anybody! Just tell me!
I go to the morgue for B because she couldn't go, and I say to Debbie,
your mum loves you to the moon and back.
heartbreaking death of B's daughter is the turning point for her. Now she has nothing left to lose.
Oh, you're going to pay for what you've done.
I never forget the end of season 1, that shock of seeing Jax have that bee stabbing her in the neck and that sort of bleeding out moment was like, oh my God.
But of course, when one villain falls, another one takes her place. Season 2 sees the introduction of the Freak. And boy, does she bring a whole new level of terror.
Each and every person here will know their place.
Who are you?
My name's Miss Ferguson. But you can call me Governor. The nature of villainy is that it's complex, and I was relishing the opportunity to be unleashed on the Freak. I would often ask the directors of a particular scene, can you see my mustache twirling? It was teetering that fine line all the time.
Ferguson is a master manipulator, and she's soon using B to get to Frankie.
It's in your best interest to strike first. I'll do it when I'm ready.
There was a knife fight just in this laundry between Frankie and B, which was a 6-hour fight. And in the process, Nicole De Silva broke her wrist.
I came away from that scene feeling like I had been in Fight Club. My favourite moment in the series, and it still thrills me to think about, was where B escapes and she emerges from the hospital doors to the outside world, and the camera spins around her as she puts on her hoodie ready to enter the world as this escaped criminal. And to this day, that moment gives me goosebumps.
Now on the outside, B's on a mission to seek revenge for Debbie's death.
All right. So I want to know why you killed my daughter.
In that scene, what we have is the exploration of one of the major themes of the show for me. You have B coming into prison as a hairdresser who attempted to kill her violent husband but couldn't go through with it. And then she's confronted with the prospect, this bloke has killed her daughter. Can she pull the trigger? And if she does pull the trigger, does it change her forever?
With her newfound badass status, B returns to Wentworth and assumes the burden of being top dog.
Freak.
Which marks the beginning of the Freak's unravelling.
You don't run this prison. I do.
Of course, Wentworth isn't all violence and vengeance. There's also a whole lot of love. Oh, bless.
At its heart, Wentworth is about a family. And it's about these women from very disparate parts of life being thrust together and having to work out how to get on, how to create a community and live and exist together.
When they're not killing each other, it's a really nice family.
But with the Freak in charge, well, let's just say, some people just want to watch the world burn.
They call me a freak. A monster. They're right to be afraid. It's all good.
So what do you do when you've burned your set to the ground? You build a bigger one, of course.
Here we are, girls. Home sweet fucking home. Woo!
It's an incredible set. It actually exudes a personality and a depth of darkness that invades you when you're here and you're shooting. The details in everything is so beautifully thought out that it brings you to this place that it just gives you your character instantly.
All the cells are identical, but if you walk into all of them, they each have such a different vibe. And walking into mine, it taught me a lot about who Burma was.
You're way better than this place.
Sometimes I don't know if I am.
Well, yeah.
I was struck by how small it was. And I thought, oh my God, she's been here for 7 years and this is her life. This room is her life. With a whole new set to play with, we really had some fun in season 4, especially when the latest inmate turns out to be the freak.
A very tricky thing to try to pull off. How in the world the person who'd been running that prison would end up in Teal, in that environment, and stay alive. Certainly she would have been kept in isolation, but isolation is no help to a master Machiavellian like John Ferguson.
Oh, that's for sure. Before long, the freak's pulling the strings from the inside and has Kaz, a new inmate, and Jake, the crooked new guard, doing her bidding.
I've been warned about you, Joan.
Don't be too sure of anything anyone tells you, Jake.
Bea starts to lose her influence with the women.
I can see the cracks, Smith, and that means Ferguson can too. You need to remind everyone who's in charge.
Because she's too busy falling in love.
Everyone I care about ends up dead.
You care about me.
We should get back for the count. She was in a domestically violent relationship, and then she also encountered a relationship that she was a little bit confused by. She fell in love with another woman, even though she had defined herself as heterosexual. I'm not gay.
I don't care what you are.
Looking back on 4 seasons of Wentworth, I think my favourite scene is looking up at the clouds, and the clouds are forming seahorses.
Did you know that seahorses like to swim in pairs?
Do they?
Yeah, they do. They link tails so they don't lose each other.
We didn't realise at the time, but it became such an iconic theme for that relationship. I get sent seahorses all the time from my fans, which is so incredibly sweet.
Aww. The big shocker arrives at the end of season 4, and there's no doubt no one saw it coming.
It wasn't difficult to keep Bea's death a secret because we didn't have that much warning.
I didn't see that coming. We had to work really hard at keeping that under wraps, and a lot of the crew didn't even know that that was going to be the final moment for that character.
I don't think anyone was expecting that. It was such genius television making.
I'm going to finish this. The whole point in making a show is to move people, is to get a response out of them. And we certainly did it with that. But it was a big shock.
After killing off their main character, everyone was waiting to see where the writers would take Wentworth in season 5.
Even when I read the scripts, I'm, oh my God, I can't wait to see what happens. You know, it's exciting television. Fuck!
Poor Ali. She has one very focused idea in her mind, and that is to kill the freak. And she tries. A lot more goes into a fight scene than you might think, because it kind of looks so seamless. Hours and hours worth of rehearsals and stunt choreography is kind of reduced to maybe 2 minutes of fight on screen.
Everyone's fears would be realised when, with Bea out of the way,
Who's next?
Ferguson really steps up her villainy.
Top dog! Top dog!
They gave me such constant gifts. You can almost hear the writer's room, quivering with glee as they come up with some of those things.
You've licked your last pussy.
Whoa, that really brings new meaning to Cat Got Your Tongue. It wasn't just the script we had fun with. We also tackled our most ambitious stunt yet, a car accident that happens to be a real turning point for Kaz.
The most challenging scene was definitely the brawler scene.
They had this big van in a rotisserie, and then there was guys just pulling it because Tammy was in there doing her thing, and I went, wow!
And then we had a day in a tank while Will saves Kaz.
A man saves her, and that was such a turning point for Kaz, and it was a beautiful moment to play. It was a really hard moment to play.
All I wanted to do was go, woohoo!
But not all the action on Wentworth takes place on the road or in the water. This season sees Vera in bed with the enemy.
I feel safe with you. So many times I've picked up scripts and gone, Vera, you're an idiot. Don't do it.
In many ways, the fans of the show have loved to hate Jake, kind of thing, in the same way that they love to hate Ferguson.
Ah, Ferguson, what a sweet, sweet treat it is when she finally gets her just desserts at the end of the season. Wish I could have taken credit for that one.
That whole time as I was bearing her, she was screaming. She was screaming at me the whole time.
Get me out of here!
And, you know, you can never, ever get rid of something like that. Never. That'll always be there.
Am I happy with where they left my character? No. No, of course not. Appalling, appalling behaviour.
So, in season 6, with Ferguson out of the picture, could the writers introduce someone who'd give the freak a run for her money? You betcha.
You're never going to fucking believe who's here.
In walks Mari Winter, mother, madam, murderer.
How come everyone knows you?
Well, I mean, hardly everyone. Well, a few women may know me through my businesses.
Oh, yeah? What do you sell?
Sex.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
It's the most complex character we've had in the series, in that she's a villain. And she's adorable at the same time.
I really missed you, Lee.
Mari soon finds a formidable foe in Rita, another newbie who's hiding the kind of secrets you really don't want on the inside.
Good work, Detective.
It was very daunting. I'm really glad that I had Ratawoy Hick with me because we'd worked together before.
It's better if nobody knows about us. They ain't going to hear it from me.
To protect her sister, Rita's eventually forced to take down Mari's muscle.
Ruby's out. You're fighting me.
Bullshit.
Let's go. When we did the big fight with Drago, it was 12 hours. And I said, I want to do my own stunts. One take, I turned around and said, you want to go again? I was tired, I was sore, and I just said, I've got to take this bitch out. And I did.
Myself as Ratawoy, I wish I had a big sister like her, you know.
And how could we forget that healthy dose of blackmail?
Who is this?
That raised some really disturbing questions. Could it be the freak blackmailing from the grave? Or even worse, is she still alive?
How do you know she didn't dig her way out?
In season 7, we reached new levels of revenge and betrayal.
There's a great scene between Mari and Rita where Rita finds out that it was Mari that put the hit on Ray. You killed Ray.
Hey, Rita, it's okay, babe. What are you talking about?
I know it was you.
You put Ray in the shit.
It's fucking bullshit.
That butcher's hit Ray because of what you did.
So we work out that we should kill Mari and we work out how. And we decide we're going to build a pipe bomb.
But Mari is like a cat with 9 lives.
I've tried to kill her a million times. She just won't die. You just can't kill Mari.
Do you regret what you did to Mari?
Kaz is actually forced to reevaluate her entire worldview with the help of Greg Miller, the new psychiatrist.
She gets challenged all the time.
When I was a kid, I was the victim. I was Karen. But I refused to let that be my story.
And just when we thought Kaz had found peace, Wentworth delivered one of its biggest blows.
There was such a sacred, spiritual
loving presence on that set that day that I didn't act that scene alone. I could feel every single crew member.
I love you.
I could feel them.
I think the ability to make those bold decisions is what makes this show stand apart and what makes it such a roller coaster of a ride.
What's happening with Kaz's murder?
The police aren't getting anywhere with the women. Have you heard anything?
Only that Miss Bennett thinks I did it.
Vera had her suspicions.
I know, Will,
What do you know?
that you've become totally compromised. I will not let you destroy him.
And it's time for Mari to bring out the big guns.
If you don't get me out of here in the next 48 hours, the whole country's going to find out how you like to spend your holidays.
It all culminates in this siege at the very end of the season when Sean locks down the whole prison, takes hostages.
In total, we spent about 4 days with guns pointed at us, being screamed at, one by one, people just being shot and killed.
Oh, I killed fucking Proctor! You let Mari go, or I'm going to shoot your mum. There's one scene where I have to shoot multiple people, and that's when it all sort of starts to unravel.
Shootouts, hostages, murder. This was a finale with the lot.
Everyone down! Drop it!
Did you forget about me?
Give me the gun.
We are leaving.
Give me that gun!
With that comes the most uncharacteristic move that I think Ali has ever pulled. I don't think anyone expected that she would be the person that grabbed the gun and saved the day.
But the adrenaline of the siege was quickly tempered by yet another tragic turn of events.
So, dementia wasn't enough for you, eh? Had to go and have a bloody stroke too, you greedy bitch. It was very hard. It was very confronting to see Lizzie making those sounds and just lying there. I love you.
After we filmed the scene, I had the most incredible sense of peace and calm.
I love you.
Because it was like, yes, I want this. Thank you for helping me.
I think at that moment all I heard was white noise just going, make your arms work, make your legs move, and just going through the motions. That's what I was having to do. And my arms naturally wanted to start shaking. And then the other part of my actor's brain was like, please don't really smother Celia in this moment.
Emotions truly ran the gamut in season 7, but there was one more earth-shattering reveal before the credits rolled.
Joan Ferguson has literally risen from the dead. She has somehow escaped a box.
That's right. Joan the Freak Ferguson returns in the brand new season and she's out for revenge.
Jake, Vera, and myself will be her 3 targets. They are the people she's after.
Get ready for the biggest season yet.
Holy shit,
I don't need recognition. I'm on a mission. Yeah.
This season is going to be so epic.
I'm staying up. It's getting late. You're doing good. I'm doing great.
Old enemies, new faces,
and I think the most twisted plot line.
I'm staying up. It's getting late. You're doing good. I'm doing great.
In season 8, we open and I have been in isolation. I've gone from top dog to kind of like absolutely dog on the floor type thing.
One of the themes of Wentworth this series is redemption.
What the fuck is this about?
Told you, we're just going to have a little chat.
I think that all of the characters are worthy of redemption. Whether or not they achieve that redemption, I'm not sure.
Now tell us the truth.
I am telling you the truth.
In season 8, we're finally seeing Ali in all of her power and in all of her strength, but pushed right to the very limit.
I don't tolerate violence in my prison. I've got the women on my side, so if you try something, there's going to be consequences. We're also being introduced to a group of new characters who are the cream of Australian talent. They are so fabulous.
Lou is a former top dog of Wentworth.
Oh, hey, look.
She's fierce.
Nobody moves.
She's got a very dark sense of humour.
I got the fly.
Come on. And she's also wildly in love.
Medical assistance required, so important.
Jackson! Hey, you can't separate us. Reb needs me.
I'm playing Reb Keane. He has a pretty rough history. He's trans, female to male, and, you know, the challenges that come with being a transgender man in a women's prison are endless.
Rebecca.
It's Reb.
Who are you?
I've been a huge admirer of Wentworth.
I'm Sheila.
And the dedication, commitment, and extraordinary acting that I see in every scene, in every frame, with every character, it's an honour and a privilege to be a part of it.
And another new inmate, Judy Bryant, might be behind bars for the wrong reasons.
We're here outside Wentworth Women's Prison, awaiting the arrival of English activist and whistleblower Judy Bryant.
Government deal to establish a military base. She won't tell you. Hey! That's that hacker chick. She's amazing.
She lands in Wentworth because she has leaked some precarious secrets about the Australian government online, and she kind of has this passion and fire to fight for the underdog.
The staff of Wentworth are also in for a shake-up, as the new GM of Corrections is appointed.
The new general manager, Anne, is at Wentworth now, and she doesn't want me to be the governor.
Someone has to take the rap for that siege, Vera.
The siege wasn't Will's fault.
She's used to getting what she wants, put it that way. And she comes to Wentworth to make sweeping changes. The decision has been made to close the protection unit immediately.
You're kidding me. But the character that I and the whole audience should be excited about meeting is little Gracie.
Is Miss Baby? Oh, she's got the baby.
She is. She's going to win awards. She's delightful.
Oh, my God, she's beautiful.
One take wonder. She's beautiful.
I love babies.
Yeah, little Gracie is a cutie, all right, and I don't want to give anything away, but someone else has their eyes on her too.
The moment Joan Ferguson comes back into the picture, all bets are off. I can guarantee you, I can't give anything away, but I can guarantee you that the way that Ferguson comes back into this story is not what you are going to expect.
Thank you, Miss Maxwell. Do I know you from somewhere?
Where has Joan been? I just have one of those faces.
And cut.
It's a great little mystery. They have no idea what's coming.
Wentworth season 8 is out of control. It's just next level.
For 7 seasons, Wentworth has indeed been an extraordinary journey, filled with characters we've come to love and loathe. But the journey is far from over, with a whole new season ready to thrill, shock and excite audiences.
It's bigger, badder, better.
So the holiday's over?
This season covers some pretty torturous and enthralling territory.
It's the freak, so everybody is a target.
I'm sitting there going, oh my God, oh my God.
So it gets pretty hectic. Get her in. Be ready.
Is the freak coming back for Series 8? Is she?
Dude, I'm killing it, smoking them all like a cigarette. Guess you don't know who I'm chilling with, but now you wanna hold me close. You look stupid 'cause you brag a lot like I'm